voting poles and not the poles provided that were being used that were having that problem. However, the finishing timers were timers that were provided by the LOC. We had the stadium have a plant that it depends on. So it was fueled so that we will rely on that plant. Unfortunately, the first day of the competition, we realized that the plant power was not enough for whatever reason to be able to power these finishing timers effectively. So we had to arrange for an alternate plant purposely for those gadgets. And since that happened and it was properly connected, we've not had any problem with the finishing timers also. So that has also largely been resolved. The media stand was taken over on the first day by some Jama singing persons, unfortunately. But security had been improved to make sure that only accredited person to go to that particular wing were allowed in there. So media can operate in an atmosphere to run commentary for their various stations. Then internet was also a challenge because passwords for the Wi-Fi system was not displayed prominently. The organizers thought if they displayed it prominently, any person who is not supposed to use it will be using it. So they shared it to a few. No, they didn't share to everybody. So some reporters truly didn't have internet. That have since been resolved with prominent display of the passwords for internet accessibility. Then, of course, heaters in some bedrooms and blankets not being available on some of the beds and what have you have largely been resolved by facility managers of University of Ghana hostels. So there were a few reported incidents, but all these have largely been resolved. And some of them truly was not the case. It wasn't like food was not enough. It wasn't like in terms of quality, it was low, or even like quantity, it was more. No, it was just this particular athlete who himself said that, look, he in South Africa, that's what he does. He's a short put athlete. So some of them, they have what they call recovery diet. So when they compete, they lose a lot of energy and the rest. So they may have to eat well to recover.
Even for some keep fit people.
Exactly. So if that was properly communicated by the athletes' officials, special arrangement could be made for such athletes. But I must say that generally, food had not been a problem at all. But for that incident that people took advantage and were running, some were even taking AI images. One of our Kenyan friends now displayed a plate of rice with some small stew just on it. But meanwhile, you have variety of foods there. That is what is being served in Ghana. But that's not the case. But however, this is not to say that we didn't have some challenges. We did. But generally, if you compare to such competitions also across, I think it was a fairly a good organization.
Honorable, since entry is free,
yeah,
who is paying for this competition?
Well, so government directly is sponsoring maybe more than 80% of the cost. So it's part of the protocol. So in our budget for the 2026, we made provision for a little over 40 million Ghana cedi to support this event. The Confederation of African Athletics Association is also supporting. They are also supporting, I think, with $200,000. That's their support. Then we did fundraising from various organizations and institutions also who have taken some component of the cost to also push. We hope that by the time we finish, we should be able to balance up everything. So that is what it is.
We are in the conversation with the Honorable Minister for Sports. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, we're going straight to the World Cup. Short break.
Stay back and stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Again, do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of properties. Don't let a moment of desperation lead to a lifetime of regret. If you see an overturned tanker, stay back and stay safe. Call trained professionals such as the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority, NPA.
Well, welcome back to Talk Time, and we are talking sports. And we are talking sports with the Minister for Sports and Recreation. I think we should be shifting to the World Cup.
Sure.
Are you comfortable with the fact that we have to wait for a few weeks to the World Cup before we change coaches for the Black Stars? Are you comfortable with that?
The straight answer is that no. At all. Because look, the World Cup is not just the highest level of football, it's the biggest sports gathering in the world. And so you must go there very well prepared. The concerns about our former coach were not just recently raised. The concerns that led to his ultimate change have been raised and known. And so you are very right that this should have happened much earlier, possibly to give whoever you are bringing in also some ample time to get to know players and look for possible other players. And so changing at the time you did put a lot of pressure on the new person. And exactly that is what we have done. But well, he's an experienced person. Like those times when we are growing up and you marry and your wife is about to deliver, you straight away look for the old lady at home and to bring her around, because she may not be a nurse, but even more experienced than sometimes those who have gone through professional training, because they have also had the practical experience. So this coach, the new one, tells us he has quite some experience and has a network of persons he could rely on to be able to still formulate a team and give us a good showing at the World Cup. But I'm not happy about the time we did the change. Though I am happy we finally agreed and did the change. And sacking a coach is not just a decision of government, because the laws governing football has evolved, and the federations now want to have a certain level of control, though the team is a national team funded with taxpayers' money. They say they run it, their member association should run it. So FIFA has found a way of giving some heavy control to the member association. In the appointment, you may have some good say. But once the person gets appointment, his sacking or her sacking becomes difficult for you, the government that is paying. You would have to have the support and the agreement of the member association and sometimes its leadership to be able to get those issues resolved. So we've done it at the time we did. It's short, but we hope that we are able to turn things around. You remember Cote d'Ivoire sacked their coach in the midst of a tournament and handed the team to the deputy coach, and they went ahead and won the tournament. But in this case, the assistant has been there also for a long time. It's not somebody coming from outside. But this is not to suggest that the timing was okay. No, we could have done it much earlier and given the coach some time also.
Are you happy with the controlling powers of the Football Association? They don't pay for anything, but they control. Are you happy with that?
Well, that's what I'm saying. FIFA has found a way of creating certain things that makes it difficult, that they call it political interference. Now that is become, even where your interference is to make it better for the nation, they see it as political.
Why is FIFA not paying the bills?
Well, they'll tell you they created their sport. And so,
anyway, so what is your expectation? Are you expecting Ghana to win the World Cup?
My wish is that we win. My expectation is that we do well. But my position is that we should be able to develop our teams, our football, our soccer in such a way that the minimum for Ghana in the World Cup will be maybe a round of 16, or that should be our minimum. And at African level, our minimum should be maybe a quarterfinal. Ghana should be able to develop its system and set a certain standard that anytime we go below this for this competition, it means we should be ashamed of ourselves. So I wish we win the World Cup. It's my prayer. My expectation is that we'll do well. And once we cross a certain stage by doing well, then the rest, luck can shine on you, because you have had instances where not a very good team steps out there to win a tournament. And so that's my wish and my prayer.
And under your leadership, are you guys still doing ways and means? The Juju team, are you guys?
This question has been asked again and again, and gradually it's shifting where players are beginning to understand the science of the sport. But you still have one or two who believe that if they don't get to somebody to pray for them, luck will not be on their side. You still have side people.
I'm talking official policy.
Official policy. Well, people come to you that, hey, this must be done. You must go and see this, and all of a sudden, when it's getting to World Cup,
some levitating Malam from Burkina Faso.
And so the thing is, you have to wait. Some of them to have a certain voice. So when they come and tell their stories and you don't agree that you will do it, they will step out there and they will finish you. So sometimes you have to assure them that, oh, don't worry, we'll do it. Leave all the information. We'll send people. Then he lives confident that, oh, it will be done. And so the team will do well. Maybe just the psychology of it. But Chief, sports is science. Yes, I agree that luck can be. That luck may not be because somebody has done something. Today, look at the recent
bury the cow or
have done this. That's why it came. when I was watching the AFCON finals, that was one regret that I had. I thought Morocco has developed very well when you see the interest they take in sports and how they are investing in sports. To the extent that goalkeeper's towel that he uses to clean his hands, they felt it was juju. I was so ashamed. That the Senegalese goalkeeper, it was raining, it was wet, and so from time to time, the goalkeeper needs to wipe his gloves and everything off it. So he had a towel there. They felt it was juju, so they have to take it. And that's why they were not netting the balls in there. It's still unfortunate that sports will be facing this challenge. But I pray that we'll get to a point where we take the science more serious and stop tying of these white handkerchiefs on our hands and then all the kinds of things that we do and still go and we get beaten. So,
Honorable, I'm told that one of your biggest problems has to do with flying supporters to the tournament.
That's true.
Is that true? What's the nature of the problem?
Well, because for all the World Cups we have been to, from the very first one in Germany to the second in South Africa, and then our third in Brazil and fourth in Qatar, quite some numbers of supporters have been sent to all these Mundial. Unfortunately for us, this 2026 one seems to be very expensive. Indeed, as we speak now, ticket prices for some of the areas have jumped to almost $900 to $1,000 for lower tier tickets. When they launched it for our games, it was $154, $198, and $242. So Ghana, Panama in Toronto was the lowest, $154. Then $198 was Ghana, Croatia. Then $242 was Ghana, England. But now all that have jumped to over $800 per for the, so it's quite expensive. And so because of the expensive nature, you cannot take as many numbers as used to happen. And so it's a challenge. It's difficult for people to understand that you can't take the same numbers. I understand the role of the 12, what we describe as the 12 player, the fans. But we just have to manage with some few numbers and go with these few organized and organize the rest from the various countries. Luckily, Toronto has a huge Ghanaian population there and a huge African population by extension. So can we rely on them also to support Ghanaians there to beef up the numbers? Boston, the Massachusetts area has quite a number of Ghanaians and Africans there. So Philadelphia, the history behind it from our founding presidents, their presence there, and then the rest, there are a huge Ghanaian population in that general area. So Black Stars were so lucky in terms of the port they found themselves and the venues they got. You can see clear linkage to our history in those three venues. Toronto in Canada, Boston, if you go to Worcester, you have huge Ghanaians there, then Philadelphia. So it's part of the reason I'm saying that my wishes, my expectations, and luck, these things can just not happen for nothing. Maybe, just maybe, this World Cup is an African World Cup, and it may just be for Ghana. We'll be turning 70 next year. So what better thing can we also have in the time of all the difficulties we have found ourselves in and the resetting happening, to hear that Ghana has played the finals of the World Cup when it's going to be turning 70. So good for us. So it's challenging. Then also, it's not just the money. Of course, America has to clear you to be able to fly in there. The fact that you have the money, the fact that you have booked for hotels and flights and everything doesn't mean that you can easily enter America or enter Canada. You now must go through their immigration systems for them to issue you with what? Visas. And there also you are confronted with denials. Though those we are sponsoring, we haven't presented anyone yet. We have been given some dates, but we have been asked to go through the FIFA Pass platform to register all those persons. But some dates have been reserved for us to do so. The 26th of this month and 29th of this month for us to process our numbers through. So we're going to be working on that from next week in terms of going through the FIFA Pass platform to get these numbers registered for them to appear before the consul officers for visa vetting.
Do you have an idea how much it will cost to send one person?
The initial analysis we did was about 7,500, but it has since jumped to close to $12,000
Per person?
per person. Yes, per person.
12,000.
12,000. Tickets in and out, match tickets, feeding, accommodation, ground transport, and insurance. You know, America too, their tax system is really, really biting.
So if you send 100 people, we are dead.
You are dead. You are dead.
But you are still sending.
Well, the truth is that you need a certain organic unit that have played together. So sometimes when you are watching football, you see that the noise to arouse support starts from a certain point, and it spreads to the unorganized fans who are in the stadium. So you need to have that concentration of organized fans that maybe they will be singing all through or they will initiate. Then the rest will respond. If you don't have that type of support in the stadium, it's difficult. Let me use this as when we are sitting there, we are watching with tenterhooks, and so you will not even be thinking about singing. But this supporters union, they go there and they know that even when you are not doing well, they still will feel like, let's continue edging them on. That's why you need them.
They are professionals.
They are professionals. That's what they do. They are the number 12.
Yeah. We're going to take a short break, and when we come back, Honorable, I would like you to deal with the politics of the World Cup. I hope you understand what I'm saying. Yeah. I've heard some people from the NPP say loudly, you voted for NDC, they are not going to take you to World Cup. We took you to World Cup, and so the politics of the World Cup when we come back briefly, and then we round up. Short break.
Stay back and stay safe. The National Petroleum Authority is cautioning the public to desist from scooping or fetching fuel from overturned fuel tankers at accident scenes. Again, do not get closer to the scene in an attempt to take videos or pictures. Inhaling the petroleum product is detrimental to your health. Worst of all, petroleum products are volatile and highly flammable, and a small spark can trigger a catastrophic explosion, causing deaths and loss of properties. Don't let a moment of desperation lead to a lifetime of regret. If you see an overturned tanker, stay back and stay safe. Call trained professionals such as the Ghana Fire Service or Ghana Police personnel to handle the scene, or reach the National Petroleum Authority's contact center on 0302 550 380. Your life is worth more than a gallon of fuel. This Save a Life campaign is from the National Petroleum Authority, NPA.
to Talk Time. We are talking to the Honorable Minister for Sports, and we are talking on many things. Now, finally, we want to talk about the politics of the World Cup. Honor, I'm sure you've heard your colleagues, members of parliament from the NPP and so on, mobilizing your support base and telling them that you are not going to be able to send them to the World Cup. What's your attitude?
Well, it's so unfortunate that political leaders, especially at the level that they have reached, that we thought will have a better understanding, will go this low and will go that route. But my appeal to Ghanaians, even beyond the NDC, is to watch out for that person. We want to make sure that we build a safe and a better economy, where possibly by the next World Cup, you will not even need government support to go. You yourself, because the economy has been bettered, you will be able on your own, ahead of time, pick the form, visa form, fill it, get your visa, buy your ticket, book your own accommodation, and fly in there. That is the type of economy we want to run. Not these deceptive ways of the MPP stance, of trying to rubber-rouse and create a certain level of belief that, oh, if it were MPP, oh, they would have done it. Well, they did those things. Where did it end us? It ended up with a haircut or head cut, where people's genuine savings were virtually taken away and their businesses destroyed, and they were brought onto their knees. I don't think that that is what we want. Government must be supported. That's why we are using corporate fundraising mechanism to mobilize resources, to take the few that we can, to give our team that support. Out of the monies that we have raised, we have also secured broadcast rights for many television stations that have come into the consortium to broadcast these matches live. So you are home, you'll be able to watch on many television stations. We've also secured rights to create fan parks where the matches would also be telecast. So we are doing many things to also give that feel to fellow Ghanaians who will not be able to attend the World Cup. We will never do anything that would destroy the country's economy and the country's future. So they should not listen and imbibe those kind of language. It's destructive, it destroys a country, it destroys the economy, and it's bad politics.
How much have you raised so far?
So far, we've done a little over 15 million, largely including all the pledges. They are redeeming them bit by bit. It's my hope that before the day set for us to leave here, we would have gotten enough.
And what is the guarantee that the people you send to the USA will come back to Ghana?
Well, we have indicated to all of them that they must come back, because when we believe that they would come back, because we've made them aware that it is better for you to come back after this, and if you want to go in future and spend some more time, because your visa that will be issued you, apart from maybe government officials who are normally given category A visas for a certain short period, you'll be given a visa that allows you multiple entry. So if you are given 2 years multiple entry, you, after the World Cup, even though the visa allows you to stay for 6 months, you come back. You have another opportunity in future to go, and if you want to stay in America for 6 continuous months to tour every state, you can do so. And when it is almost 6 months, come back and you can always go in again. So we are trying to conscientize all of them that nobody should think that you are taking this World Cup and then when you get to America, you don't want to come back. In any case, what Big Brother Trump is doing, where are you going to hide? And where are you going to work? Even those who are already there, they are not even, they know they sit up, they are hiding. Then you fresh, who is going? Where are you going to do? So just take it advantage as a travel experience, go and see something, make friends, watch your national team and support it, and come back. So we are telling all of them this.
Honorable, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for the
you very
opportunity.
much.
Thank you.
Very much.
Thank you.
Well, we've been talking to the Honorable Minister for Sports and Recreation. Indeed, he's an old friend of the station, and we are so very happy that he came. Yes, we've looked at sports, we've looked at our participation in the World Cup and so on. If you have any questions, please send it to us, and during the course of the week, we will deal with the questions and suggestions that you have. Until we meet again next week, it's bye-bye from all of us at Pan-African Television, especially George Vinay, the producer, and Edem Lumo, the director. See you very soon. Bye-bye.
Truly African.